In the news this week, Labor and Liberals' final stretch in the Canning by-election race.
And the shocking incidents of TV shooting in America. Are there lessons to be learnt?
This is the Evening News with Ivan Lung and Daniel Staniskov.
Good evening. With the Canning by-election less than 2 weeks away, the Labor Party is putting its foot through the floor to gain a winning start at the race. During the annual State Labor Conference, leader Bill Shorten and Mark McGowan attempted to strengthen the party's position. Alexandra Faulkner begins our coverage.
Bill Shorten received an outstanding ovation at the annual Labor State Conference, with the Canning by-election less than 2 weeks away. Shorten, along with Canning Labor candidate Matt Keogh, revealed the party's plan to implement an $170 million job-creating infrastructure project, including road upgrades.
If we are elected the next election, we'll commit to these valuable road projects, and we call upon Mr Abbott and his Liberals to match what we're doing.
Mr Keogh also highlighted his advocacy against gender inequality and domestic violence.
We must ensure that we do not leave these people abandoned.
With the growing unemployment rate in WA and around the nation, the Abbott government is feeling the heat from voters. Bill Shorten has now called for an Abbott-proof fence around Canning.
I hear the Liberals have built a new barrier around Canning. It's an Abbott-proof fence.
State opposition leader Mark McGowan entered the Labor conference with this statement.
WA Labor will build Metronet.
Given the state of the budget, can you credibly say that this project will ever be affordable?
We will build it as we can afford it, bit by bit, as the finances allow.
Alexandra Faulkner, WAMN News.
Australian journalism experts expressed their concerns over the live TV shooting incident which killed 2 reporters in the United States. They believe more can be done to prevent such incidents from happening again. Cecilia Faustina reports.
Concerns are growing amidst the safety of media professions after a TV reporter and a cameraman were shot dead by a former colleague in the US.
It's a very concerning event. It's very tragic, but it was totally unexpected.
Many people within the industry were stunned by the shooting attack of Alison Parker and Adam Ward. Meanwhile, Curtin University's head of Department of Journalism, Joseph Fernandez, felt gun control would be a key action to take in reducing these type of crimes.
The evidence is there that the less weapons there are in the hands of the public, the greater the chances of reducing the amount of gun-related violence.
MEAAWA President Martin Turner also said it was also important for more efforts to be made with mental safety and stress management within media.
It's becoming quite evident that people are under a lot of strain, and at the end of the day, you know, they look, these people on TV and so on, it looks all glamorous and whatever, but they're just people dealing with, you know, workplace stress.
Despite Mr. Fernandez's support for more employment management control though, he said the Parker and Ward shooting was an unexpected event and was something that could not be predicted, so there was a limit to what HR management can do. Cecilia Faustina, WAMN News.
A huge coup will be happening at the annual WA Media Awards with the attendance of a special guest that everyone in the world is talking about. Ashna Gurel, who is he?
Yes, Ivan. Al Jazeera journalist Peter Greste will be attending the annual WA Media Awards hosted by the MEAA. It will be a huge privilege for those who support free speech and ethical journalistic practices. You may remember he was convicted of terrorism charges by the Egyptian authorities. The fate of his other jailed colleagues remains in limbo. I spoke with the MEAA West Australian chapter president this week.
In the end, we just decided if he could just attend our awards, that would be a great thing. We haven't quite decided or haven't discussed with him what he might do, but essentially it's that he'll be there and no doubt he'll have a chance to talk to the audience and mingle with the journalists on the night.
If you can recall, a few weeks ago we reported the PCYC Gosnell's unfortunate incident where $12,000 worth of equipment was stolen from the centre. After the story was aired, support from the public poured in with cash and bike donations. To top that off, the successful Full Throttle program has swooped 3 awards. The PCYC is planning to expand their program to Fridays.
Since your news bulletin, we had quite a lot of donations. You can see all the bikes we've had donated and some tools and equipment. The award has just been the icing on the cakes for the kids. It shows them basically the hard work that they're doing. People are listening.
What a wonderful outcome. Change of pace now. Hundreds of Malaysians are demanding the Malaysian government to be more transparent after the nation's One Malaysian Development Berhad corruption scandal unfolded. The corruption is part of an international protest held by Malaysians in major international cities. They also called for the resignation of Prime Minister Najib Razak.
We demand the parliamentary democracy. We demand a free and free press, and we demand proper governing of the state so that the economy is not going to be sabotaged.
The Mediterranean refugee crisis continues to escalate as hundreds and thousands of refugees sneak through the borders of Hungary and Macedonia to seek asylum in European countries. The Hungarian parliament has considered mobilising the military in an attempt to secure its borders. European countries have held an emergency meeting in Vienna to discuss and reach a solution over the pressing issue. It's reported that most of the refugees are from war-torn countries such as Syria, Afghanistan and Iraq.
On Newsnight this week with Blake Danilzak, Channel 9's Aaron Molan discussed the inequality in the coverage of male and female sports in the media. Plus, the New South Wales LGBTI rights lobbyist Justin Coonan has responded to government's ban on screening of a same-sex parent documentary in schools. Be sure to listen to Newsnight every Thursday from 5 p.m. on Yas FM and online. And those are the stories you need to know this week. With more news on our website.
Until we see you again next Sunday, good night.
Good night.